Hello everybody, my today's video is on the concept of dollar index. I hope all of you enjoy it. Thank you.
In simple terms, the dollar index is a relative measure of the value of the US dollar against the value of a group of currencies of nations which are major trading partners of the United States. The dollar index came into existence in March 1973. The collapse of the Bretton Woods Agreement was soon followed by the beginning of the dollar index. Talking a bit about its historic values, the highest value the dollar index has ever recorded is 164.7200 in 1985. In comparison, the index has fallen to as low as 70.698 in the 2008 financial crisis, which is considered to be the worst financial crisis after the Great Depression in the 1930s. There are six main currencies which are a part of the dollar index. They are the euro, Japanese yen, Great Britain pound, Canadian dollar, Swedish krona, and Swiss franc. These are also considered to be the six strongest currencies in addition to the US dollar. If you guess that six currencies are a part of this index, then you are unfortunately wrong. The right answer is actually 24. 24 countries are currently a part of the dollar index, as there are 19 members of the European Union which have adopted the euro as their own currency. So it is these 19 countries plus the remaining 5 countries of Great Britain, Canada, Japan, Sweden, and Switzerland which constitute the dollar index. Now, how does the dollar index work? The comparison between the currencies is done on a weighted basis. The weight for each foreign currency in the index is directly proportional to its share in trade with the United States. So far, the euro holds 57.60% of the weight, which is the most against the US dollar. The reason for this is that the euro currency is backed up by 19 powerful countries, which allows it to make up the largest part of the index. The euro is followed by the Japanese yen, which constitutes 13.6% of the weight, owing to its strong economic conditions and trade relations with the United States. It is not just sufficient to know what the dollar index is about, it is also necessary for us to read and comprehend it to fully understand the concept. So, for example, an index value of 160 would suggest that the US dollar has appreciated 60% against the basket of currencies. 160 minus 100 gives us a value of 60, which on dividing by 100 gives us a figure of 60%. Similarly, if we were to say that the index value was 50, this would suggest that the US dollar has depreciated 50% against the six major currencies. Once again, subtracting 50 from 100 gives us 50, which on dividing by 100 gives us a figure of 50% depreciation. You would be wondering as to why the index value is always compared to 100. The reason behind this is that when the dollar index was made official in 1973, its base value was 100, and since then its values are being compared to 100. An inverse relationship can be noticed between the dollar index and commodity prices. Commodities include corn, soybeans, wheat, oil, and other substances worth trading for, like gold, copper, bronze, and other metals. These are just a few examples of commodities. It has been noticed that as the value of the dollar index rises and the US dollar strengthens against the other currencies, the prices of commodities drop. Similarly, a decrease in the dollar index value more than often notices an increase in commodity prices. Though this inverse relationship has been proven wrong at certain instances, but when we look at a much larger time frame, this inverse relationship between the US dollar and commodity prices is evident. There is also a reason behind this relationship. The US dollar is a reserve currency and is considered to be one of the most stable currencies too. For such reasons, most of the countries hold US dollars as reserve assets and more than often also trade with other nations in the US dollar. As the value of the US dollar or the USD index falls, it costs a lot more money to buy the same commodity. For this reason, their prices go up. In return, when the US dollar strengthens in value, lesser amounts of the US dollar are required to buy the same commodity, and hence their prices drop. Due to the reason that the dollar index has such a profound impact upon commodity prices, it is always closely followed and analyzed by nations all across the globe.
So this is the end of the video And if you feel that you learned something new today, then please don't forget to like my video. Thank you.